How's it going, everyone? It's your girl Rocket Gal, and we are here with two other FadeTubers to talk about the top 10 meta-influential units from Book 8. Book 8 has been pretty crazy. It has seen some rampant power creep, more so than I feel like in any other year. And who best to talk about power creep than some of the top meta players in the game, Tacho and Crem.
Hey everybody, how's it going? It's your boy here, and we're about to talk about the train wreck that is Fire Emblem meta.
Man, I hate this game. Can I say that?
No, you made it pretty clear in the past.
Holy shit, I hate it here. Someone save us.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, it is, it's a bit of a train wreck, from time to time, but, actually I have nothing else to say about that. That's kind of what it is.
Yeah,
if you play the game, you already know, pretty much.
Exactly. If you're here, you know, guys. So today, each of us came up with our own.
Can I introduce myself?
Oh yeah, sorry.
I am Crem. I do Summoner Duels content. I also do art for the OCs and stuff, and I am here to participate in whatever schemes Rocket Gal has brought here for us.
Yes, I am full of schemes today. So yeah, each of us came up with our own top 10 meta influential units from Book 8, and none of us know either of the other lists, so we're gonna go in pretty raw, with full like raw reactions and stuff. So yeah,
raw
basically.
Dog. Sorry.
Yeah, sure, yeah. So yeah, I think we should start from like top to bottom. So for our first place, and then end off with our 10th place. Because I get the feeling the first 5 are going to be somewhat similar, and the last 10 are going to be pretty different between us. So yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I actually didn't order mine in order of best to worst. I ordered them from release date.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And for me, I don't have a list, so I'm preparing that now. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry. Yeah, it's going to be an improv list.
Don't worry about it. It's all
okay.
good.
Okay, then how about I start off with my top pick then.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. So the number 1 unit I think was the most meta influential was Valentine's Leon.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Because like he was so toxic and so busted when he first came out, and I think even like this might be a hot take, but I still think he's not that bad right now. They released so much like counters against him, like 2 like big things, which are like Breath of Life and then Kanto Curb Stomp or whatever it's fucking called.
Yeah.
Like I think when you have 2 counters against you, I think that shows that IS realized, fuck, this was a mistake. We created something a little too powerful, and like we just gotta print skills and units that quite literally just say like counter this fucking effect. And I don't think I've seen anything quite like that aside from like Duo Leon, Valentine's Leon. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what's funny about him is that they released Kanto Curb, and then everyone is like, oh, he's automatically dead because Kanto Curb exists. It doesn't work that way. You have to have Kanto Curb for him to actually be countered.
Exactly.
You can't just rely on the skill existing, because I still see him pretty frequently in Summoner Duels. It's not like he just jumped off a cliff. He still exists. It's just that you have to have Kanto Curb to stop him.
I mean, in my opinion, I have not seen Leon in an extremely long amount of time. Maybe I'm just lucky.
I played for SDS last time. I saw him pretty often.
I did not see him at all. Like the past 4 seasons, and my channel's like literally all Summoner Duels.
Damn, 4 seasons.
Interesting.
Maybe I'm blessed because I do hate him.
Yeah. Yeah, I know of your hatred of Valentine's Leon, very much so.
Very not fun and interactive unit. But
yeah,
I agree that Leon was a problem, but I don't know. I feel like he was a problem, and then they released a bunch of countermeasures to him, that then further devolved the game's meta. Like, Breath of Life, for some reason affecting AoE damage, killed Desert Green,
Right,
Yeah.
who
right.
did not need to be caught in the crossfire. Like, I literally tried to use her, like, a few days ago in favor battles. She missed a kill on Micaiah. Somehow. So she did 4 damage in combat twice with flyer effectiveness. So something tells me that Igreen is just dead right now. I have a search, a little thought about
It's
that.
not so much Igreen, it's just like AoEs and melt damage. They countered that a little too much, I think.
I think
Oh,
that
yeah, for
AoE
sure.
should not have been affected, honestly. I feel like Breath of Life should honestly have just been melt damage if they wanted to, because melt damage is stupid, but AoE
Yeah.
did not need to get caught in the crossfire, especially when we have Shield Fighter and then Hathrin.
Exactly. Oh my God, Shield Fighter. Yeah, I think we'll be talking about that later. But yeah, Valentine's Leon is pretty insane. Still pretty good, despite like what some people might think. And yeah, he's my number 1 pick. I don't know. Tacho, do you want to go over your number 1 pick?
Okay, so I mean, I've got so many possible number 1s here. Like I said, I didn't order them in order of best to worst. So, I just off the cuff, I'll say, to me, the most annoying release was Emblem Ike. Because
Ooh, okay.
he was, like, damn near untouchable for Aether Rates. Like, you would run him. You didn't even have to be good at the game. You could just run him on release as your Omni Tank, and he would just win. Like, there was no thought, no planning at all put into it. No effort. He was just untouchable in AR for, I don't know, like multiple seasons after his release until we started getting units that could deal with him. But yeah, out of all the units released in Book 8, I would have to say he was probably the one I hated the most.
Gotcha. Damn, but you're like the Ike guy, man.
I was gonna say, it's like, wow, for him to
I mean,
to say that.
Listen, I like Ike. He's my favorite of the Lords, but that also doesn't mean I'm biased towards Ike. If he does something I don't like, I'm gonna air him out, basically.
What do you mean?
That's
You're
fair.
not Oblivion? Oblivion's like, oh my god, I love Ray Felix. I love Emblem Ike.
God.
I don't play favorites like that, honestly.
That's fair.
It feels
Hey,
yucky. It feels yucky.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm like known as the defense guy for Aether Raids. Like, that's what I do mainly. I just like build defenses.
right.
So, if I remember when Emblem Ike came out, the scramble to come up with a way to beat him with a defense team was just abysmal. It was like
God,
nothing.
yeah.
It felt so hopeless as a defense team
Yeah.
like builder.
Exactly.
Dealing with Ike was just impossible.
Yeah, that was not a very fun time. Unless you're like an
Yeah, and-
Emblem Ike user.
Yeah, and what made it worse to add insult to injury is like every banner after he came out, they just kept on buffing him. So it was like, okay, so
Oh,
then
yeah.
he gets Breath of Life 4, then
Stone
he gets
terrain.
yeah, like so AoEs were like the main way to deal with him. AoEs with Fatal Smoke, and then they just released Breath of Life 4. It's like, dude, chill out with this. And then okay, so another weakness he had was Hush Spectrum, or Scowl, I guess,
yeah.
as well. And then they released that C skill from Brave Robin that just lets
Creation
him special
Pulse.
jump. Yeah, Creation
Creation
Yes,
Pulse, I think
yeah.
it's called, yeah.
Yeah, so like we had to go through the entire. It's like the opposite of Fallen Edelgard, where she came out and then every banner after had a nerf to her or like some unit to just smash her.
Right.
But then
right.
Emblem Ike comes out and every next banner has a way to just buff him. It was the most annoying thing.
I just imagine Satoshi coming to the call. Smash Edelgard? Don't mind if I do. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's our boy.
That's our boy.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
I agree. Emblem Ike. I mean, honest, like no spoilers or anything, but he is pretty high on my list personally. But I personally thought Leon was a little worse. But I agree with all your points. Emblem Ike was insane. He warped the meta was Emblem Ike for many months.
Yeah, pretty much. And then the Celica ring came out. Oh my god.
Yeah. I think that might have been a mistake, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. All right, Crem, do you have a number 1 pick for your list?
I absolutely do. And I'm not Listen, I'm kind of shocked that we all had different tier 1s because I kind of thought that we would all be on the same page. But on the top of my list, I had Brave Felix.
Gotcha.
I think that, like, obviously, yes, we have a lot of, like, nuisance characters. Like, yes, Leon changed the meta. Yes, Emblem Ike introduced a new form of, like, tanking, omni-tanking meta, and, like, he introduced that, and then more tools were added to buff him, and as a result, that affected everything else. But I think Brave Felix in particular means something more for the game. The problem, like, I guess from my experience, I only play Summoner Duels S. I don't play SDR because that will give me a literal terminal illness. And I don't play AR. I auto battle. So, in the context of Summoner Duels, Felix can literally single-handedly win you a game if you don't have any countermeasures to him. And if you do have countermeasures to him, there are ways that the Brave Felix user can buff him and, like, just remove his weaknesses, basically. And what's more infuriating to me is about, like, the whole debate of, like, action eco. Action economy is insanely strong in Summoner Duels.
Oh yeah.
And Felix himself, he gets actions. He just does everything.
Oh yeah, he gets actions.
I hate it. I really do. And then, like for Sigurd, like Emblem Sigurd, he's also another action economy unit. But he has extremely low res, so you can blow him up with a mage if you wanted to. Felix does not have that issue. He has high speed, he has high res, he has high defense, and then he has, like, true AoE based DR, which is insane. I hate it. But I guess in summary, the main thing that I want to, like, point out with Felix is just that he is a lot of the game's problems combined into one entity. And I am currently praying for the downfall of Brave Felix to the point where he is just completely unusable. Sorry, Oblivion. But, he's just a compilation of everything that is just bad about the game, and he feels a lot of the times like unfightable. Like, is that weird to say? Like, whenever I'm building a team, I'm just like, shit, I have to think about Felix. God damn it.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, me and Oblivion, we were talking about Felix before, and I brought this up that Felix might not be the best at any single role. Like, he might not be the best Gale Forcer, he might not be the best God Sword, he might not be the best Omni Tank, but he's probably, like, top 3 in every category. So when you put all of that together in one single unit, that's when it gets pretty nuts. Like, he just does everything, and he's very good at everything. He may not be the best, but he's, like, maybe the second or third best option at every possible role. So, if we want to talk about role compression, which is another, like, really big thing we've been seeing in Book 8, I think Felix is probably one of the best when it comes to that.
Oh, I forgot to mention he has DC and Hexblade, if you guys didn't know.
Oh, yep. Yeah, exactly.
Sigurd has to run the DC seal. Felix just has it. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, he was very overtuned, honestly. Like Alphonse is, like, wishing he was that powerful. But yeah, like, Brave Felix is.
Yeah, but also in Felix's defense, though, I feel like, as insane as he is, and he's probably the single best unit released in Book 8.
Oh yeah.
I want to say this much, though: he's very fun to use.
I agree. I very much agree.
Like, I kind of give him a pass for that, because at least it's good game design in the sense that I'm enjoying using him.
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed to, like, Emblem Ike, where I'm, like, fighting Emblem Ike is just like, Jesus Christ, not this again.
But do you enjoy using Emblem Ike?
Not really.
Yeah, he kind of just sits
not
there.
Really.
Sit and plonk.
Yeah, I mean, it's just end turn and win.
Exactly, yeah, that's not very fun.
Like, there's no thought put into it, there's no strategy, there's no planning.
I don't relate because I have a very strict code of honor. If a character is aids to you or to fight against in Summoner Duels, I do not summon for them. So Leon banner, I skipped. Like, I don't have Myrrh, I don't have Leon.
Damn.
CYL, obviously I summoned, but I didn't get a Felix, and if I did, I would have foddered him for Excel.
Damn, whoa.
because I'm just I'm that opposed to using characters like that because I don't want to ruin people's day.
I mean, respect. I mean, you got my respect.
I also feel icky using those kind of units that are that oppressive. So I don't know. I don't really have input on Felix other than I hate his guts. So
damn. All right, but you cannot deny that he is very strong.
Hell yeah. That's why he's number one.
Yeah. yeah, exactly. All right. So those are our number 1 picks. Now let's move on to number 2. For me personally, I put Emblem Ike as number 2. Like we said before, you know, he basically shaped the meta, and he got stronger, as the banners went on. But I personally feel that he kind of petered out. Like he's at a point right now where he's not that hard to take down anymore. Like I feel like he's really not that scary anymore. He got you know, Fallen Edelgarded, where so many things started countering him. We got a lot of strong blue units, like Bernadetta, that can smash him pretty easily. That I feel like he's really not that scary, but there was a time where you just run him, put him in front of a whole crowd of enemies, and, you know, enemy team go boom. And it was that easy. Like, you didn't even have to do anything. And he got stronger over time, and yeah, but I just didn't think he warped the meta quite, or like was as toxic as like Valentine's Leon, but he is definitely my number 2 pick.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything against it.
Okay,
I think,
cool.
yeah, most of our thoughts align with that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I just want to, you know, get my thought process out. So yeah, let's start off with Tacho's number 2 pick.
Yeah, so for number 2 for me, I've got Brave Felix for pretty much everything we just covered.
Gotcha,
like,
yeah.
He does everything. Like, he's the all-in-one unit, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I agree.
All right, and then Crem, who is your number 2 pick?
Okay, this is going to be shocking, but I also have a different opinion.
Oh, man, all right.
Like a different tier, too. I'm actually kind of surprised. I thought that we would all kind of be unanimous on our tier list, but I guess not. Maybe we just have different experiences. Because we play different game modes, I guess.
Right, yeah.
Which is good. You got a good group of people here.
Healthy diversity, yeah.
Hell yeah. For number 2, I got Hathorn.
Ooh, okay.
Maybe it's recency bias. However, I do feel like Hathorn introduced a new like archetype in a way of like she represents like I guess it's like a lot of the points that I mentioned with Felix of like this unit is a combination of a lot of problem things that are going on in Fae. Not only does she neutralize Fatal Smoke, not only does she heal a flat 20, not only does she give out 10 flat damage reduction, and not only does she give an extra action, she's also extremely tanky and like is virtually indestructible.
Yeah, I definitely have trouble taking her out at times, especially if you give her like Lagoo's friend, like damn, talk about like, you know, unstoppable wall.
Exactly.
Yeah. But she also plays up to what's been going on in Book 8, which is this insane amounts of roll compression, where one unit is doing, like, so many different effects. Like, for example, Hathorn. So first of all, she's an Omni-Tank. She's got insane supports. She's got insane debuffing. She gives people an extra action with rallies or positioning skills. And then she's, like, she's insane as a defense mythic. She's probably the best defense mythic overall, I want to say. Mm-hmm. If not her, then it might be like King Freyr or something. And he's subject to get power crept as soon as we get a better unit that does like full-on penalty cleansing like him.
Right.
So, Hathorn just being able to do so many things, I think, is really the trend we've been seeing now, where it's not so much power creep in the sense that the units are just better than before. It's that they're like adding so many other extra effects that they do.
That's true.
Like
yeah.
that's where they're like that's how they're pushing these units ahead now.
I will say though that kind of logic that Faye has been implementing to like sell their banners has also been helping me save orbs.
you refuse
Yeah,
to summon
that-
on these units.
Well, it's just
That,
like
that is true.
we have too many banners, and then when you have a character that's like, oh, he sets up stone terrain, oh, he has DC, oh, he has like all these effects, oh, he gives out bulwark. I'm talking about you, Hector. When you have all these effects compiled into one, you're just like, wait, but I have this character that already does that, and then I can just pair them with the other character that does this, and then suddenly I have Hector in 2 units. Like, obviously,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
definitely, it's not as strong as having the singular unit, but
Yeah.
it's like you can't keep forcing all of this power creep on everyone. Like, at some point, people are just gonna be like, I'm not interested anymore. I'll just use what I have from 2 months ago.
Right?
Yeah, but
that's
a
fair.
lot of it also is that, like, when they're doing it the way that they're doing it, it's like a lot of the units now are just doing so many things that you could just say, okay, they're doing enough. Like, I can just have this one unit, and then I don't really need to summon for an upgrade anymore. So, for example, like, if you had, I don't know, Ice Tribe Fiorm, did you really need to summon for Attuned Hector? Probably not.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
She's already got you covered as a Farsaver. So, like, that's already good enough. And they've been releasing a ton of armored units lately. So, it's really just, like, a case of pick your favorite, and that should be good enough. Like, you don't really need to summon every single one that comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
To my point that I mentioned earlier about avoiding AIDS units, like just disgusting units, I also did not summon on the Ice Tribe Fjorm banner. That's how much I hate Shield Fighter, and I hate Fjorm.
Damn. Yeah.
Code of honor.
Man, I respect that, but I don't know how you're fair in summer duels, and I know you still do like really great, but like, damn, it must be really hard.
Yep, just have fun, play gimmicks. I don't know. Game is trash.
Man, all right. Okay, cool. So, let us move on to number 3. For me personally, I picked Brave Felix. We've already glazed him enough, so I think it's pretty obvious. I just didn't think, like, I do think he is like one of the best units, if not the best, in Book 8. But I felt like he wasn't as meta influential as my top 2, but definitely still like really powerful. So, so yeah, there's him. Why don't we start with Tacho's pick, third place pick?
Okay, so in third place, I'm going to go with Emblem Sigurd.
Ooh.
Now, I think this guy...
Ooh.
First of all, the Emblem Heroes is something they introduced in this book. And you could make the argument that damn near all of them are a must-pull just because the ring is probably the most impactful thing you can get out of a summon. Where you can just use... It's like an infinite skill inheritance, where you can just... As long as you have the unit, you can just give the ring to anybody.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it's like an unlimited source of skill fodder, basically.
Exactly.
And the ring effects are just so busted. Like, some of them, not all of them, but some of them, like, for example, Sigurd giving +1 movement to pretty much anyone except range cav. And then Kanto 3 if you're melee, or Kanto 2 if you're ranged. Like, that's a little bit much.
It
And
really is,
it still
yeah.
gives you... It gives you bonus damage, too. It's not even, like, just the mobility. Then he gives you bonus damage based on how many spaces you move, and the bonus damage stacks on the AoE. So I would have to say, like, out of all the Emblem Heroes released, I think Sigurd is definitely by far the best one right now. And him as a unit, like, his ability to just be this insane Gale Forcer with 5 movement, and then he gets an extra action on an AoE special, like, it's the most insane amounts of roll compression, where his special is AoE damage, got Gale Force, he's got 5 range of movement, he's got the Emblem Ring pretty much, he's got insane fodder. Like, Momentum has got to be one of the most insane fodder skills.
Right.
It's like
yeah.
it's basically like the cavalry version of, or not just cavalry, because a lot of units can get it, but it's like the offensive version of Lagu's Friend, pretty much.
Right, yeah.
Like, I would have
Okay.
it on that level.
In the
So-
defense of Momentum, Cavs needed something. They really needed something really bad, okay?
Yeah, they kind of
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, well, okay, so he's got all that, and then, I mean, what else is there to really say? He's good in pretty much every mode. He's great in 8th raids, offense and defense. He's good in summoner duels. I don't know about Arena. I guess he doesn't score high enough for Arena, but like no one cares about that anyway. So yeah, pretty much like all the relevant modes, he's amazing. The ring is amazing. Yeah, so I got him at number 3.
Gotcha. You know, this is kind of shocking, but I don't even have Emblem Sigurd on my top 10.
Really?
I swear, yeah.
I do, but he's really low. I was kind of shocked.
Yeah, I was
But
a
I
little
think-
shocked too.
I think it might be, again, like the whole game mode difference. Perhaps, because I don't touch AR.
Like we specialize in different things, right?
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
So like I'm the AR player, Crem is the SD player, Rocket Gal is like a mix of everything.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. And yeah, I basically agree with everything you said, Tacho. It's just that I felt like he didn't super like warp the meta as much. He's, in my mind, like he's just a really, really strong cav nuke with extra actions, which actually could sometimes be a detriment because in like summer duels, if you get that extra action, you can't Kanto out, so you're like a sitting duck. But apart from like that scenario, like yeah, I agree. The Gale Force is a bit of an overkill with the AOE, and honestly, he is probably, at least as of now, the strongest Emblem unit in the game. But I personally didn't feel like he was as meta impactful. Like he's definitely strong, but just like his impact wasn't as high. He was just, I would say his impact is similar to like Brave Alphonse, which is just like another strong cav nuke, but we have ways to deal with it. Just kill him first, or I mean, just don't tank him, but just if you find a way to kill him first, and he will blow up. So that's my mindset on that.
Y'all love trashing on my boy Brave Alphonse, huh?
Well, you know.
Well, but yeah, I do agree. I do think that Sigurd in general, maybe it's my cavalry bias because I love cav units, but I feel like he is so much more fun to play with than Felix. Because
absolutely.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I personally think he's probably around as fun as Felix. Like toxicity doesn't really play a role for me, I guess, except for Ike, who I think was just a mistake of a release. But yeah, a lot of these units, even the rest of my list, not counting, I think I had a lot of fun using all of these units, pretty much.
Yeah.
Again,
yeah,
I might be biased, but I think that Sigurd is actually a good addition to the game.
I mean, yeah, I don't mind. I don't think he's toxic. I think he's fine. Honestly, there's ways to get around him, in my opinion.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, we got a lot of AOE protection by extension of Duo Leon, so that does help.
And stone terrain as well. We have Breath of Life and stones already present,
Yeah.
and then no one uses Goto, but he's also there.
Right.
And,
yeah.
Nagi as well.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how Nagi does into Sigurd. She must do
I think
well.
she does fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
As
As long as you give her
surely.
shield fighter,
yeah.
like every armor with shield fighter is good, pretty much. Like that's how good that skill is.
yeah, basically. Exactly.
But yeah, I do like Sigurd. I don't think he's that toxic, and I think that he's probably a good addition to the game because he forces people to actually think and kind of defend against him, which is not the same as Felix, who is just, he does everything. So Sigurd doesn't have action economy himself, like by ending action.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that also makes him much less toxic, in my opinion. So that's why I don't think that he would be that high on the list, in my opinion. But
Yeah,
I do understand your
just-
reasoning.
Just to like get this point across, though, toxicity didn't really have much of a role in my list. It's just like who I think were the best releases or most powerful releases, pretty much.
Right. Yeah.
Powerful equal toxic? Question mark? That's how I ranked mine.
I mean, we got our own criteria, so it's all good.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting how we viewed the assignment differently.
Right. Speaking of assignment, Crem, I would like your number 3, please.
I got Emblem Ike here. I mean,
Okay, gotcha.
I don't really have any strong opinions about him because even at the point where he was like super strong, I was just kind of indifferent towards him because at the time I was mainly using Brave Crom and Green on a conga line together, and Crom just deletes Ike. So I actually had a lot of fun beating Emblem Ike users face into the ground. So I didn't really have that much problem with him.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you played AR, you'd probably sing a different tune.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, you know what? I'm just not gonna play AR. I mean, I think I made the decision like 2 years ago where I was just like, okay, the game's getting too crazy. Goodbye.
That's fair. Yeah, it's power creep, man.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the problems of Emblem Ike, and that's why he's on this like tier 3, but he wasn't a huge problem to me specifically.
Okay, gotcha. That's fair. Yeah, again, we all have our own experiences, so it's all right. All right, let's move on to number 4. For me personally, this is a new character we haven't mentioned yet. I'm putting number 4, Valentine's Myrrh. At the time, she was, I'd say, probably the best Far Savior, maybe tied with like Duo Winter Byleth. And again, this is another theme that we're going through: roll compression. So she's got Warp Bubble, and at the time, and even to this day, Warp Bubble is really useful. Actually, especially now because of Emblem Celica and warping shenanigans. So Warp Bubble is really good. She doesn't give it to just her, but her ally as well. And yeah, and she's a pretty good like Far Savior as well. And she actually has AoE damage reduction, which is not super common. So this actually caught me off guard a lot of times when I was like running a Desert Igren team, and she couldn't kill her. So yeah, with the roll compression and how strong she was, and even to this day with like Shield Fighter, like you could still make her work pretty well. Valentine's Myrrh is my number 4.
Yeah, I don't really have any complaints. I personally don't have her on my top 10.
Gotcha.
But I don't really have any arguments against her. She was really good for sure when she came out.
Yeah.
I was running her a lot on ARD because I would just like ditch Gatekeeper and just run her for the Warp Bubble.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the problem though is that she gets it on turn 2, and Warp
that's true.
Gatekeeper has it just right away. So like that's one little difference. But yeah, I mean like you said, it's the roll compression. Having a save unit with Warp Bubble was such a big deal back then. So yeah, I could see it.
At some point in my SDS career, I made the decision that I don't want to rely on warping as a main thing that I need for a team to function. So while I acknowledge that Myrrh is super strong, and yes, the warp bubble is there, it didn't affect me personally because I was just like, okay, Myrrh is the best savior in the game. I'm just going to run Cavline. And then I don't have to think about it.
Yeah, I mean, she also came out around the time where, like, armored units I felt like didn't really matter. Like, you could just run all offense and still do pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm also having to shift as well. Because for the longest time, I was like, I literally ran one savior, and that was Amelia because she gave support. But now I'm running 3 saviors because the game is calling for it.
Yeah, the game definitely slowed down a lot since Shield Fighter and like all these insane armors we've been getting.
Can you guys remind me again what was a support that Amelia gave? Forgot.
Dull all, defense res +6, and special acceleration. So the breath, well, not breath, but like the purple icon.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that is pretty good. Okay, yeah. Yeah,
She's
I
also
think...
a speedy armor, which is a very unique class. I'll say that much.
Right, yeah. That's true. Yeah, which, and that is like... I feel like speedier armors sometimes are worse than like the slower but tankier ones.
It depends on what's going on at the moment, I would say. Because like when Amelia came out, she was actually really good.
Yeah, exactly.
But
the
like
only thing that could really kill her was Micaiah at the time. The
Yeah. The Micaiah was her biggest counter.
Because she did like 99 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm running a Miracle Marfring build with her, and she doesn't die. So, maybe my gimmicks, again, are ruining people's days, but I don't know. I really like the speedy armors. I think it's just you have to think more out of the box with them.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
All right. So Tacho, who would you say is your number 4 pick?
All right, so this is where I've got Duo Leon.
Okay, gotcha.
And we talked about him already, so
Yeah.
like that's pretty much it. If I want to add one thing about him is that I think he probably made more people quit competitive Fae than any other unit.
That I agree.
I've definitely seen that. So I can't argue against that.
No, I totally agree. I was literally in the same boat when Leon dropped. I was just like, I don't feel like spending orbs on being meta relevant is like even matter anymore. That's kind of Leon was like the kind of like tipping point where it's just like, okay, I either quit the game cold turkey or I run gimmicks, and I went with the run gimmicks route because Leon was just like a huge FU to everything, really. I mean, even my cav lines were affected because he just hits the Pathfinder unit or one of the units, and then I can't play. And like,
right, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, end actions is like the dumbest status effect they ever added.
It really is dumb.
I don't know how, like, at ISHQ, they're just like, okay, so imagine this. People summon for a unit that stops people from playing the game. Who's with me? And then everyone clapped in the meeting.
It's pretty toxic. Yeah, not gonna lie.
I don't know who came up with it. It's just so insane. Everyone's like, yeah, let's go. This is gonna make us $1 million.
What do you mean everyone's
And now
quitting?
Leon is dead. What do you mean everyone's quitting?
Yeah.
A month later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think Valentine's Leon is I don't like him sometimes, but he's pretty influential. So I think putting him number 4 is solid. So Crem, who would you say your number 4 is?
I also have him in number 4 for the
Okay,
same reasons
gotcha.
that I mentioned. So we can move on.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, for my number 5, I have Fallen Nurgle, or I guess it's Nurgle in general, because he's just with this essence drain. It's just so. I felt like this was a bit toxic too, though, and really strong. Stealing bonuses feels really bad when you're playing against it. It shuts down Pathfinder teams. It shuts down teams that rely on a lot of bonus effects, and bonus effects are like honestly running rampant in the game nowadays.
Yeah.
And it feels bad, especially when even like they'll still steal the bonuses if the essence drain user dies. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like,
Yeah.
if they had to survive, I'd be like, okay, fine, that makes sense. If they die, I lose my Pathfinder. You kidding me? They just had to initiate on me, and my team like plan is destroyed. Like, it just feels so bad, man. And on top of that, there's some healing in this. Like, I think like 10 HP healing, which on paper isn't a lot, but I got fucked over a match or two because of that. Because I couldn't get that last little bit of damage because of Essence Drain, so that's fun.
I will say, in the defense of the 10 HP heal, it only works after you've killed someone.
That's true, but still,
But it does affect the entire team, so...
Yeah, and like the last final scraps of like Summoner duels where I'm really pushing the limits of my team, that healing really like tips the favor of the enemy sometimes.
Would you say it tips the scales?
Yeah, I guess it does tip the scales, just not in my favor though.
And this is where the Fire Emblem Awakening opening blasts at like 300%.
yeah.
But yeah,
Tacho, do you want to anything about Nurgle or?
I mean, Nurgle, for me, being a defense main, I guess you could say, And like I guess like Aether Raids is just the main mode that I play. So I thought he was pretty good, mainly because stats or status stacking has been a problem for a long time. Like just getting one unit into final boss status by just plugging a ton of status bonuses onto them, I think is not cool. Like that, you shouldn't be allowed to just have like 20 different status effect bonuses. So having a way to counter that, I've always thought is good. Like Duo Thor, for example, Nurgle with his Essence Drain, Mythic Loki, like ways that can turn off enemies just stacking statuses to high hell, I think is necessary. So he's one of the releases where I actually thought he was healthy in a way, but also stealing the enemy's statuses and putting them on your entire team is kind of messed up in the same regard. It's like, okay, let's counter something, but then let's also steal it and use it to our benefit.
Yeah, that's where I draw the line.
Nuts. Yeah, and also on top of that too, it's like all of the best units right now are just forcing statuses onto your team. Like you don't have the option. It's like, okay, if you're running Haithrun, she automatically just gives Divine Nectar. If you're running, I don't know, who else gives like crazy statuses? Like Needhogger, she gives.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess you can't
actually
use her though,
actually like counters
she cancels it.
She literally has a part in her weapon that says no.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it says if your name is Nurgle, no.
Basically,
pretty much. Like it calls him out. But
any effects such as Essence Drain.
Yeah.
No, you get what I'm trying to say though, right? Like all of the best units right now are giving some kind of support in some way, and you don't really have a choice in the matter. So having a unit that just steals all of that, it feels like you don't really have a way to counter that or like not do that. So I don't know. I'm like on the fence with that. Like, is it good or is it bad? I'm more leaning towards it's good because at least in AR you can player phase him pretty easy if he's on a defense team, or if he's an enemy unit, we have ways to just like not have to worry about him too much. In SD though, he's very good. Like I'll say that much. He is very good in there.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's like basically a permaban whenever I go up against him.
I think there's too many other things that are such a problem in Summoner Duels.
Yeah, there are other things, but at least my personal devil is Fallen Nurgle. Do not like facing up against him.
I feel like Nurgle, like in the same way that Tacho is like mentioning this idea of like he's like an equalizer unit. I think that yes, I do agree, but I feel like the stealing of the bonuses and putting it on your team, like as he said, is just insane. I feel like if they wanted to make a balanced Nurgle, here, how about this? Instead of applying the bonuses to your team, how about it gives the enemy a -5 to all stats for each individual bonus on them that he neutralizes, right? So that way Nurgle doesn't steal charge from Sigurd. He doesn't steal like any of like the Divine Nectar, right? But he actively penalizes the enemy for it. I prefer units that punish certain archetypes much more than actively taking from it, if that makes sense. I like punishing.
Yeah.
Punishing feels so good. Oh my god, punishing feels so good. When you have barricade and you're fighting against a Brave Felix or any kind of warp bubble, doesn't that feel amazing?
It
Don't
does
you
feel
love
pretty
punishing
nice.
people? But yeah, that's kind of my logic. I feel like Nurgle could have been made in a better way, but yeah, I overall agree with everyone's points. I think this is actually very interesting that we have so many thoughts about Nurgle.
Yeah, I mean he was pretty insane. Honestly, he was like the star of the Fallen Banner for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
All right.
Man, Veil.
Oh yeah,
Veil is a unit on the banner, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So Tacho, who would you say your number 5 pick is?
Okay, so here I'm gonna go with Haithrun. And
Okay.
we talked about her earlier, so I don't know if we want to like talk about her again.
Yeah.
The special art is very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, me as a defense player, when she came out, I saw her and I was like, "Yo, this might actually save defense." Because at the time, offense was Aether offense was just so much stronger than defense. It just felt
True.
hopeless.
The Gale Force.
Yeah. Like, there was really no way to, like, deal with offense until she came out. And then it's like, okay, maybe now we're starting to get somewhere with a unit like this. You release, like, another 2 or 3 units on this level, and defense might actually be good again.
Oh yeah, defense. I'd argue that defense is pretty decent now. It feels like it's not too terrible. And actually, like now with Larather, I feel like it's in a pretty decent spot.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
All right, cool. So, Crem, who do you say is your number 5 pick?
For me, it'll be Fjorm.
The Ice Tribe form.
Yeah, the Ice Tribe form.
Gotcha.
The advent of Shield Fighter was so insane. My Crom stacked with steroids. If he doesn't have potent, he doesn't kill Shield Fighter armors, and he's getting like plus 50 to attack and speed with
Jesus.
Desperation and Treachery. So
Right.
Yeah.
my question is, why the hell does Shield Fighter do all that much? Also, he's armor effective, so
Yeah.
Here.
it's just
Nah,
it's so
I mean,
insane.
Shield Fighter. What's crazy though is that melee don't really have a good way to deal with Shield Fighter besides brave attacking and potent. Like, if they don't have one of those two things, they actually cannot beat Shield Fighter.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, also remember that the brave attack, it's only on the 4th hit, and then
Yeah.
for potent,
so you
it's
have to
the
quad
3rd
too.
hit.
Like, you can't just
Exactly.
have the brave attack. You gotta hit 4 times or it doesn't work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah.
I feel like Shield Fighter should have been susceptible to brave hit, like just the 2nd hit. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been
Yeah,
so
yeah.
balanced, but who knows?
But then that'd be like the same weakness as the one before it. What was it? Hardy Fighter.
Hardy Fighter? Maybe
Yeah.
it could have been
Hardy
like
Fighter.
reduced
Yeah, I mean,
or
Hardy-
something. I don't know.
Hardy Fighter was good, but it really only helped on the first hit where you had the special ready.
Right.
So like it wasn't as as much of a combat swing as Shield Fighter is right now, where damn near every attack you do has to deal with Pavis or Aegis.
Yeah.
It's interesting because when a skill is very overbearing, I refuse to get it because I feel like it's gonna get countered any second. So I have like my Brave Edelgard and my Baby Hector in like the Hall of Forms with Shield Fighter, and I haven't picked them up because I'm just like, they're gonna introduce the anti-Shield Fighter thing any second now. And
Yeah.
I'm just like kind of in that mindset.
In before everything that comes out now is just like Spring Carla, and they just turn off specials.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Or they're gonna release a passive that does that, like I don't know, Swift Sparrow 10.
Oh
where
my
it's
god.
like you initiate and you just block Pavis and Aegis or something.
Oh
I
boy.
have a theory that if Emblem Lyn is coming out this month, she's probably going to give like a forced potent effect on the Emblem Ring. And if that's the case, then Shield Fighter won't be countered, but it's in kind of like rough waters from there, I feel. Because if there's a potent, we have a chance.
Right.
Defeating the great evil Shield Fighter.
Yeah.
But to also add on to Fjorm in general, her ice is just toxic.
Oh yeah, that ice is
Yeah, the ice is good.
so insane.
Ice is very good.
Oh
I
yeah.
really hate it. I think
I kind of hate it too.
Fjorm is one of those reasons why I stopped playing Cavline like as like my main thing, because 2 layers of ice, like maybe 1 layer, sure. 2 layers, unplayable. I give up.
And for 2
GG.
turns too.
Yeah, it's 2 turns.
It is. Yeah, it is absolutely insane. At least it's not repeatable. Otherwise, whoa.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So it's just once a map. So that's still pretty bad. Yeah.
It's just once a map. It's balanced.
Yeah.
I mean, you only need it once, to be fair.
That's true. That is true. Yeah. All right. Gotcha. All right. So let's move on to number 6. And for me personally, I put Hathorun. She is a little far down. But I really thought like Nurgle was more like toxic, powerful, meta influential. So, and I think we talked enough about Hathorun. So, yeah, she's at number 6. She's very strong, very powerful. But I I just think like others like Nurgle and Valentine's Murder were just a little bit more than influential. All right, so
Yeah.
Let's
Rocket, why don't you bring an allegory or like an experience that you had with Hathrin? 'Cause I'm curious what your reasoning for Hathrin being so low is, basically.
She just makes it really hard to omni tank. And she gives the extra actions, which is also really annoying. So, I mean, I was one of those like brain dead users of Emblem Ike who just no think put Emblem Ike win. But then when Hathrin got in the game, it's like I can't do that anymore because deep wounds, man. It's like, yeah, and like preventing the miracle effects too for like Emblem, or not Emblem, legendary male Alir. Was also really rough. She just basically made enemy phasing just like almost impossible now. And as someone who likes to get free wins on just enemy phasing, yeah, I'm one of those filthy players. It really made me have to start thinking.
That's interesting because I feel like she was more beneficial to defense than like. Okay, so you're saying you had a harder time baiting enemy teams with Hathrin, but I feel like. For me, like, her impact has been stopping opponents from player phasing you, because the Nectar is just so defensive.
I guess that's true, yeah. I feel like
you get the 20 HP healing, you get the flat BR, and, like, all that stuff. Interesting, okay.
I feel like it might be... I think they're both really hard. I think that's true, but I think enemy phasing... Like, it was already, like, going downhill a little bit with all the counters, but then the deep wounds and neutralizing miracles, like that really kind of killed it, made it a lot harder, basically impossible really. Whereas that's when I had to start learning Gale Force better, making Gale Force teams and stuff, and it was hard, but I feel like it's not like terribly impossible with Hathrin on the map still, but yeah, she basically just buffed up defense in every single way.
Yeah. For sure.
She's beneficial to the game, I'll say that much.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. No, I mean, when she came out, I was like, yo, we needed this so bad.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. Yeah, Either Raids was not in a very good state, so yeah, her inclusion definitely appreciated. Definitely like her a lot. So all right, Tacho, who would you say your number 6 is?
Okay, so we haven't talked about this one yet, which is interesting. So I have Attuned Micaiah over here.
Ooh, okay.
Now, Attuned Micaiah, I think a lot of people realized pretty fast how insane this unit was. Because it just... I blame her for the amount of roll compression we have right now. Because she was really the unit that started it. So, first of all, she has Ash's C-skill built in, where everyone can warp to her within 2 spaces. Doesn't matter what your movement type is. So we have that. Then she has the penalty cleansing. It's only 2 penalties, which, I mean, that's not that crazy, but it's still pretty good. And the only other penalty cleanser we've got is King Freyr, who, I mean, he penalty cleanses better, but he's not a better unit than Micaiah.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So
yeah, he's fallen off a little bit.
So she's able to do that. Then she also has the debuffing. She does, what is it, like Panic and Discord, I think?
So
the enemies that
exposure.
Exposure.
Discord.
Yeah, there you
else.
go. Okay.
I don't know her. Disgusting.
Yeah. Okay. So she does Discord. She does exposure, and then she does the Yune debuff, where it's like the enemy that has the highest stat takes -7. So she's got that. Then she also has insane combat.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What the hell? She does like -99 to enemy stats and all that nonsense. She's got double effectiveness. She's effective on cav. She's effective on armor. Both really good. She has a pretty good echo skill. I mean, her echo skill, Trace Echo, is pretty solid. It's just like straight up better than Deathblow Echo, where you initiate and you get +4 attack. Or how about let's get +3 attack on every single fight we do, and then also get Kanto on top of that?
Exactly.
Like, why not just go for that?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, what else does she do? Like, there's just so many things. She has the penalty cleansing. She does the warping. She does all the damage that she does. It's like, it got to a point where it's like, okay, this is too much. Like, this unit's actually just doing too much.
It really is, yeah.
So, yeah, like, I blame her, like I said. She's the unit that just forced every unit after her to have to do 500 different things.
Yeah, I feel like I got nothing else to add except I agree. I mean, spoiler alert, she is on the list, my list, but I didn't put her as high. But Crem, what do you think about Toon Micaiah?
I think that, yeah, she's also one of those problem units of role compression. And I guess that was like my main argument for my first two with Felix and Hathorn. But Micaiah is like, I don't know. Like me personally, I never really was like super annoyed by her because I never ran armors. Like ever since her release, like even before her release, I wasn't running that many armors. So I didn't really have that much of a problem with her. I know that she killed my attack res unity Byleth, like with no in between. Like it's literally insane. She always survives on like 2-3 HP. So I had to scrap that idea. But beyond that, I just never used armors. So Micaiah was never really an issue for me. I just like kind of assumed that Micaiah just kills everything, and I was just like, well, okay, goodbye armors.
That's a pretty good assumption to make, honestly.
So yeah, I guess she's definitely meta influential. I'll say that much. Her guidance is really annoying. It makes me wish that Ash will get a good refine because my girl has been trampled on.
Yeah, a little bit. She got power crept like crazy.
I have very fond memories of sorry to go off on a tangent, but I have very fond memories of the New Year Ash, the blue one.
Oh yeah.
And like everyone in the early days of Summoner Duels, like just putting her behind a bunch of walls and then having everyone warp off of her. That was very fun times.
Oh yeah, she was
even
good.
The Mythic Ash. I remember when Mythic Ash came out, she was like a top 10 unit legitimately.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Pretty
she was
rare
good.
for a free unit to be that good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh man,
I miss my cow.
How
Bring
the
her
mighty
back.
have fallen. Yeah.
Exactly.
We'll
now
see.
she's an inheritable skill.
Well, I don't know. Maybe with the the new book 6 Tempest Trial thing coming next year, maybe she'll get her true redemption. But we'll see.
Oh my god, she needs to wear Asker's outfit. I would cry.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right. So Crem, who would you say your number 6 pick is?
So this is interesting because we haven't really seen the full impact of her just yet. But for my number 6 pick, I have Nithager. Now,
Okay, all right.
beyond my bias of her just being gorgeous and I love her and I want everything to do with her.
All right.
Nithager, I just don't understand how we can make her into a useless unit 3 months down the line. She is just so insanely bulky. And it's not only that she is super bulky and it's like, how are we going to kill her? Like, how are we going to make Nithager useless later in the future? But it's also the fact that she has a strong player face, which should not be the case.
Right,
if you go
yeah.
into favorite battles right now, you can get you'll see like probably 7 out of 10 matches will be Nithager with a Celica ring and just blowing up people for no reason. She kills Brave Alphonse, by the way. She doubles him. Even with speed support, she just shits on him. I hate it. I hate it here.
Damn.
So
Player face Nithager. That sounds terrifying.
yeah, I mean she has melt damage. She's
Right,
also a
yeah.
satyr, and then the beast, whatever it's called, sturdy beast. I think it's the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sturdy Beast.
It's an Omni Beacon. So
Yeah. Yep.
it doesn't matter if you attack 2 or 1 range, she's always getting double 40% true DR. And like, what are we supposed to do with that? Like, Lucina struggles against her. I haven't seen the ninja Lucina struggles against her.
Right,
I
yeah.
haven't seen Micaiah's matchup with Nithager, but I imagine it can't be that good.
Yeah, because she also have a color advantage too, so probably tip it a little bit.
Rocket
melt-
Gal, we're 8 years into this
But
game. You think color advantage
It
still
makes
matters?
a difference from time to time.
That's got to be the most innocent, cute thing I've ever heard. Color advantage. Oh boy.
just a little bit, 20%. 20%.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But okay,
feel
yeah,
like-
I agree.
Yeah, like Micaiah probably blows up to Nithagr. I don't imagine that Micaiah is ever doubling Nithagr. And, like, surviving, rather.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, for me personally, I don't have her on my list because it's
Yeah,
a little
same.
too early. Like,
Yeah,
she came
same.
out right at the end of the book, so... I mean, she's not going to have as much meta impact as stuff that came out earlier. So, like, since we're talking only about Book 8, like, I didn't choose to have her in here.
Right, same. I felt like she was really good, but like again, if you wanted, you could just still run your Ice Tribe Fjorm and still do fine. So I felt like she wasn't like super necessary, like must pick or anything. But yeah, she is very very strong. I agree.
I think I guess to some extent that's true, but her player phase, man, I don't think an armor should do that. I like it, don't get me wrong, but I don't think an armor should do that. I guess it's more of like a worried premonition more. It's like, how are we gonna go past Nithagr? Because she's gonna be useless at some point, and how is she gonna be useless? So
I do not want to imagine that future.
yeah, but we'll see. Player face Nithagr, get to it.
All right, I'm definitely gonna try that out later. That sounds kind of fun.
It is very fun. I will, as much as I'm scared of it, it is very fun.
All right, okay, let us move on to number 7. My personal number 7 is actually Emblem Celica, and it basically is just because of the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Pretty
she
much.
as a unit is not bad, but she's tankable. She's not that bad, especially with the far saviors we got these days. She is definitely tankable. There was a point where she was like a big menace, because her warping is unstoppable and is a huge range. But I do not think she's a big threat anymore. But what keeps these emblem units going is their emblem effects, and I think it's the best emblem effect so far. That warping ring is so toxic. I feel like if it wasn't for the emblem ring, I would think Brave Felix might go lower on my personal list. But yeah, Emblem Celica, man.
I find that funny too because Rocket Gal, when Celica came out, you were like one of the first people on that 5 Celica defense map.
I just gotta try it out on stream, It's like the people were asking for it, Who am I to decline?
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I also have Celica at my number 7.
Ooh, okay,
so we're
alright.
pretty much tied on this one, yeah. And it's all because of the ring, pretty much. Like, Celica herself, she's not bad. She's okay.
Yep.
But, like, the ring, being able to give a ring like that to anybody where they can reach from 5 spaces, it's like, essentially every unit has the same reach as Legendary Sigurd.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's pretty insane. And there were... like the combos you would see with it's good on every unit, but like running on units like Emblem Ike, for example, where he can just go right in your face.
Yeah.
He's a unit that, in order to like break through him, you need a little bit of setup. But if he's right in your face right from the start, like that can be tough to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then also like just running it on offensive units, like Felix, for example, just extend his reach further. It's just good everywhere. And then also, like, for cavalry units, they can warp through trench tiles and, like, forests and, like, all that stuff. So, yeah, it's... I don't know if I would say it's better than the Sigurd ring. I think they're probably about equal, because it depends on who you're giving it to. Like, for cavalry specifically, of course, the Sigurd ring, I think, is better. But then for, like, everything else, like armors, for example, giving them the Celica ring is pretty nuts. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
I will make an argument for Emblem Celica, like, as a unit, because you guys are raving about the ring, but as a unit, her with Laruther is disgusting.
Paired with Laruther. Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
The tree.
Yeah,
I feel like
the tree.
I feel like there's an argument to have her, like, have, like, a semi-resurgence. Because right now, what I was thinking of running recently, in Summoners S, I was thinking of Celica Ring Alphonse, Legendary Melchez, Laruther, Emblem Celica, and then Pirate Tibarn
for
like
a whole warp team.
Exposure. Yeah, it's a whole warp team. Pirate Tibarn for the exposure and the frozen status. And
Interesting.
basically, the game plan is Celica jumps in with all those penalties active on whoever it is, kills something, and then Alphonse can just go in, kill something, and then Shez can go in and kill something off of Alphonse. So I feel like even if you don't have like that complex setup, Laruther and Celica is really good because a lot of the times Emblem Micaiah gets targeted by the assigned decoy, which is insanely good. If you can take out Micaiah, then everything like kind of just falls together. So Micaiah can't really hide behind her safes unless the enemy knows how to position well. Because
Right,
obviously your assigned decoy and the savior can overlap and things like that. But
Yeah.
it's an interesting combo. I will say that much.
I'm a little bit suspicious on if Emblem Celica can take down Attune Micaiah.
Yes, she can.
Okay, all right.
After all the debuffs, probably.
Okay,
Well,
okay,
it's
that's
also
fair.
like, if you think about it, Warp Ragnarok does a lot of damage. It's just we haven't seen it that much because we see all this like true DR and all that stuff. But Micaiah doesn't have true DR, and Emblem Celica has null penalty.
Yeah.
So it's just bam, bam.
Right, yeah, that's fair, yeah. Hey, that makes me feel even better putting her on my list. All right, cool. Thank you for helping me in my argument. So, Crem, who would you say your number 7 is? Is it also Emblem Celica?
No, she's one down.
Ooh, oh, spoilers. Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, my number 7 is Micaiah. I mean, the Attune Micaiah, sorry.
Right.
I think that she's just, like, we already talked about her, but I think to add another layer to the shit cake that is Attune Micaiah, she's also a rearmed unit, which
Ooh,
I
yep.
think is
That was
kind
fun.
of, or not rearmed, sorry,
Attuned.
attuned.
Yeah.
So she has duplication properties. So she can pass on Breath of Life. She can pass on Crux. She can pass on Deadly Miasma. She can pass on her Trace Echo. So then it's just insanely high value to summon for her. Not only is she just an insane unit, you just want her like as a fodder factory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit too much at that point. But
It really was, but I was
yeah.
really happy whenever I summoned her, that's for sure. She just keeps coming back. Okay, yeah.
the green attunes are awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. Speaking of Attune Micaiah, that's actually my number 8 pick. I agree with everything that we've said earlier. I just feel like, yeah, she's like roll compression, like crazy amount. She's probably the one who's like started like this crazy roll compression, and I don't have too much else to add. She's just really freaking good. I will say she's not like super invincible, which is why she's slightly lower on my list. But goddamn, she can take down almost anything in the game. Well, okay, that's a little exaggeration, but she can take down some of the greatest tanks in the game. So, yeah, that's my number 8.
Have you?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but have you seen the Chinese players have been cooking for SDR? I guess mainly at the time that Fjorm was like at her peak. There was Astra Micaiah.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
What?
Yeah,
Okay, I think I missed that. What is that about?
yeah I think Zeshadow posted a video on it, too. So.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay, I got to watch
I
that
saw it
later.
originally. I saw it originally from Masquerade, and he's like, "Oh, this is like the Chinese cook," and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, that makes sense." It was Baby Robin, who basically is dual strike button, and then
Right, yeah.
Micaiah with heavy blade, so that she gets Astra,
Right.
Yeah.
and she just
I mean, that's
blows
already
up
a lot.
Fjorm.
That's a lot to have to do to beat Fjorm.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
I'll
that
say
is-
that much.
Exactly.
Damn.
But yeah, it was funny to see Astra like actually be used.
2024. That's insane. Interesting.
Oh my god.
I'm actually really curious. I'll probably check that out later. But okay, gotcha. All right, let's start off with Tacho. Who would you say your number 8 pick is?
Okay, here I've got Harmonic Eye Green.
Ooh,
And
okay.
She dominated for a long time after she came out. Like, it was months and months and months. And she didn't really fall off until Breath of Life and Hathram.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
like really, her main point of damage was the AOE, and then we just all of a sudden we just took that away from her. So
Yeah.
she's not as insane. You could still definitely use her. She's just not as good as she was. A lot of what made her good was the mobility support, like giving
Oh,
plus
yeah,
one
that
movement
is
to
really nice.
all your infantry and armor, and then also giving them terrain bypassing. So like you can bypass trees, you could bypass trenches. If you have like, I know Crem is gonna like this one. If you have Brave Crom steal her bonuses,
Ooh, yeah.
he can steal the bypass terrain and the +1 move and go through trenches.
Oh, yeah,
like
they're
that was
really
a pretty
good
good
pair.
combo. Yeah, so I mean, she was very good. Her duo button is one of the most aggressive in the game because she gives treachery and then she gives,
Desperation too.
I think, yeah, she gives desperation and then she gives resonant blades.
Yep, yeah.
So like, on the turn that you pop her duo button, she could probably just take out anything. At least back then, she could have taken out like anything. So, yeah, I mean, she was just really good, really insane offensive unit, and then really insane supporter. And then she was infantry, so you could just give her like Kanto control, have her
Ooh,
be
yeah.
like a supporter with Kanto control, and yeah, she was just really good.
Her harmonic button, it's crazy because like when her banner trailer came out, I was staring at her like, well, her
You were staring at her.
Sorry, what was I staring at? My bad.
Damn.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Hold on. Okay, I was staring at her harmonic button, and literally all the bonus effects that she had, and I was like, this is perfect for Brave Crom. And then that became my bread and butter combo for like 3, 4, maybe 5 months of this year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I only recently retired it because it's just like, green is a dead weight. Oh, I'm so sorry.
She can be a little bit in the current meta.
Yeah. I mean, her failing to kill Atun Micaiah, really, I was just like, what? That happened in a recent favorite battle. I'm like, how does that happen? You have your desperation button active too.
Oh, really? Damn.
That was insane. What a shame. That beautiful art gone to waste.
Yeah. Okay, so you're staring at Green, you're staring at Needhogger.
Uh-huh.
I think I see your type, Crem. I think I see where we're going with this. And then
Chocolate?
Ash. yeah. Like 'em chocolate, huh? Okay. I mean, I can respect it.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Nice. Let's go. A man of good taste.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I will say one thing. A point against Igrin, and I like Igrin. Like, believe me, spoiler alert, she's actually on my list. But Igrin, her biggest, in my opinion, her biggest weakness during her prime was getting a ploy. Like, what was it?
Stall.
Yeah, the stall.
Right? I
Yeah,
think
getting
it's-
stalled. That basically just put a damper on her and the entire team. It was like basically an instant just surrender every time I accidentally didn't get the right matchup I wanted. So that was like her biggest weakness, but it was so bad of a weakness that she was unplayable. But apart from that, like if you properly ban out the right teams in SDS, or you just don't happen to see anyone with stall, she is just the cream of the crop for the time and dominated for a very long time. I'd say she was like one of the biggest counters to Emblem Ike for a while. So yeah, lots of respect.
She had a really long. She might have actually had the longest reign out of all the units on my list if I think about it, because she came out when, in January.
Yeah, she was January,
and then it's like she didn't really fall off until Breath of Life, and then I mean even with Breath of Life she was still kind of good, but then Hathrun came out and that was it.
Okay, yeah.
So, yes, I mean whenever Hathrun came out, I think that was like in August maybe or before August,
maybe like July, maybe.
Yeah, so like that's like a 5-month reign in this game. That's insane.
That really,
like,
it really is.
Units last like 2 or 3 months and then they're done.
Exactly.
So, yeah, Green definitely lasted a while.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Okay, sounds good. And we already know who Crem's number 8 pick, which was Emblem Selka. So I think we should move on to number 9. My personal number 9 is Brave Female Robin. Boy, it's I found this unit to be a lot stronger than I originally thought, because when her trailer came, like when she was like first revealed and everything, I was like, damn, they really gave us Hush Spectrum again. That's it, really? In Panic? Ooh, we've seen this before. But then I'm like, wait, I'm an idiot. Hush Spectrum is so fucking broken. Why was I like counting this unit out? Am I an idiot? Turns out I am. And not only that, like she gave so much. She also gave Kanto 1 to herself and the allies, which is really insane. And then we cannot forget the ice. I thought ice was like, oh, no big deal, just break it. But that's the thing. Unlike other terrains, you need to take a turn to break it. Whereas other terrains, you could like cheese it with like some sort of guidance warping to get through like flames or the water. But with ice, there's no going around it. If the enemy team placed their like characters properly, there's nothing you can do except use an action to get rid of the ice. And honestly, in like Ether Raid's defense, boy, did that give me a lot of trouble. There's just so much ice that I would like have to break through, and then like, ooh, I hit a trap on accident. This unit is just absolutely insane. The only thing I have against her personally is that her combat is like not like insane. It's like just fine. It's passable, but it's not insane. But I'd say her support is like off the walls. It's a lot better than I initially thought.
I will say it's kind of funny. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tacho.
Oh, I was just gonna say. Oh, you should go first, Crem, because I have like a long tangent I'm gonna go on.
Okay. I was just gonna make a joke and basically say that now we get the perspective of, you know how in Fire Emblem Engage you can give the corn ring to Alir and then cheese everything with double walls of ice?
Yup.
Yeah.
So now we get to feel the perspective of all the enemies that we stalled out with all that ice in Fae.
Exactly.
We love to see.
Exactly, for sure. Yeah, it's pretty tough on the receiving end.
Yeah. Okay. So this is gonna be a hot take.
All right.
But I feel like she was a flavor of the month kind of unit where.
Ooh, all right.
We thought she was really good, but we were like overselling her. We were just glazing her a little bit too much. Because I remember thinking for a while that, oh, the ice is probably a must-have for defense teams, and it's actually not, because there were a lot of answers to her that already were in the game. Like, for example, Lumera. Either one, the Fallen one or the Mythic one. You could just have her stand close by, and then she turns off the ice. She turns it into stone. So, like, that's already one workaround for the ice. Then we also had Felix on the same banner, who he can waste one of his actions to break an ice tile, and then he still gets to attack again. So, like, that's another way to deal with it. You also have Duo Shirena, who can use an action to break the ice, let somebody go in and attack, and then get her action back.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, I mean, there were a lot of ways to get around the ice that we just didn't really see on release of Brave Robin. And then not only that, too, this is something me and Oblivion go back and forth on a lot, but it's like, who's better between Brave Robin and Duo Baby Robin?
Right.
I'm in camp Baby Robin. I think she's actually better. Mm-hmm. Like, she's giving more support. Her Duo button is it's like kind of like Igreen's, where it's insane offensive. Getting Dual Strike right now is huge to deal with Shield Fighter. Mm-hmm. So, like, that's really good. Hush Spectrum on reposition, I think, is better than start of turn Hush Spectrum, because it's harder to answer that. Like, mid-turn, you just get the debuff. Whereas start of turn, you can protect it with Micaiah. Like, if you got Attune Micaiah, she can heal off Hush Spectrum.
Right.
So, there's a lot of ways to answer her. And then also, on defense, I've found her actually more hindering to run on a defense team, because she doesn't really do much besides the ice. And then, like, setting up the attack, you get forced into having attack and speed up 6 with her on the team to allies in 2 spaces, which, I mean, in most cases, that's good. Like, in SD, that's probably good. But in Aether Raids D, if you're trying to set up a rally trap, you actually can't. If you have or if you have Brave Robin and you have King Freyr on the same team, that's already all stats up 6. And you can't do anything about that. So you can't use a rally trap if you have her on the defense team. So, I mean, a lot of we didn't notice it right away, but like upon further testing and really deep diving into Brave Robin, I found that she isn't really as good as we were glazing her up to be on release, is what I'm trying to get at here.
Gotcha. Actually, that's a really good point. Yeah, I was actually really debating between either her or like the duo young female Robin. I personally, I think it all came down to the ice. They're definitely worked around it, but I still feel the workaround is still like you have to take some sort of action, which could definitely be a little cumbersome. But actually, yeah, now they say that, I mean, it's still my list. I'm still gonna keep her at number 9. But I feel like she definitely has her counters, but you gotta I feel like you gotta play smart around her though. You gotta out tactician the tactician here, because there's you can't she just shuts down Emblem Ike. She can help with creating a very anti-Gale Forceable team, as if Gale Force wasn't already hard enough as it is. And then the Kantos is really good for her teammates. I personally just thought she was really strong, but I agree with all your takes too, Tacho.
Crem, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I was just kind of lost in thoughts all alone. Sorry. I was lost in my own thoughts. There was something that I was gonna say about Robin, but I forgot. Because I do agree with your point, Tacho, that she was definitely super overhyped. Oh, I remember now. Okay. If she was released at the time that Cav lines were extremely meta relevant, I think that she would have been the most impressive unit in the game.
Right.
Now, we are not in that time. No one is running Cav line, and when they do, it's only because of Sigurd.
Right.
And that's basically it. I remember seeing Brave Female Robin and just going, oh man, not my Cav lines taking another hit. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna have to start running something else, because Cav lines are they're getting so screwed over by everything. Everything is bulky. Everything is insanely hard to kill. Now we have ice in front of them so that you can't even hit them if you wanted to. Not like it would have done anything, but I don't know. I think that, yeah, again, it's the whole, she's good into Cav lines, but we're not running Cav lines, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I guess we're not running Cav lines anymore, but I feel like as soon as something brings them back up, she will be a pretty decent counter against them.
Mm-hmm. Especially because Cav lines struggle with action economy.
Oh yeah.
Beyond Crem, I guess, because Crem is technically an action economy unit, but you kind of want a unit that gives
got the
2.
other. They have the Lucina too, the Ninja Lucina.
Yeah, Ninja Lucina now.
Lucina is very good. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Tacho's number 9 pick.
Okay, so for number 9 for me, it's kind of a tie. These two units, it could go either way. I don't really care.
All right.
I'm just gonna go with Winter Edelgard first.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so when she came out, obviously that Winter banner was bananas.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We had never seen anything like that when that banner dropped. I felt like all the units on there were a full meta ahead of the rest of the game at the time. And Edelgard was easily the best one of the batch. She was by far the best Gale Force unit for Aether Raids for a long time, up until, well, the next unit I'm about to talk about. But she was just, really good. And it's kind of like the early premonition of that role compression, where Edelgard could fill a lot of different roles, where she could be a save unit, she could run Miracle, she could be a Gale Force option. She sets up the fire tiles, so she's really good at hit and run. She's like an Omni tank if you want her to be. She had attack and defense prime at the time, which was really good. And then it was easy to just stack a bunch of statuses on her. She could get around Warp Bubble. She has charge, but then they also gave her +1 movement, so she could kind of deal with Warp Bubble. So she was just really sickening on release. She was just really good.
Oh yeah. If I were to have an honorable mention, I think she would definitely be within there. Spoiler alert, she's not in my top 10, but yeah, she was. Yeah, she definitely made Gale Force easy for a couple months, that's for sure.
Yeah. That's putting it lightly.
Oh yeah. And then do you want to go over your tie with number 9?
Okay, yeah, so at number 10, then I have Summer Gulveig, who I think, right now, honestly, I still think she's the best Gale Force unit in the game. Because she's got the 4 actions. She may be a ranged unit, but it's actually easier to break through far save right now than it is to break through near save. So, if you've got a unit like Ninja Lucina who can take out the enemy far save, then Gulveig just teabags all over the enemy team. It's like 4 units. Yeah, it's like a clean sweep. Also, a lot of people are starting to not run Duo's Hindrance for some reason.
Yeah, I noticed that too, actually.
Even if they do run it, they only have like 1 Duo hero on the team. So, I think like Summer Gulveig is easily, to me, the best Aether Raids offense unit, and she's probably just straight up the best Gale Force unit in the game.
Interesting.
Also, the Celica ring completely mitigates her one flaw, which is she puts gravity on herself after she attacks something.
Exactly, yeah. Another point.
The Celica ring is like, who cares? Yeah.
Gotcha, yeah. I do agree Summer Gulveig is extremely strong. Like the definitive Gulveig, like original Mythic Gulveig was a bit of a disappointment. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of things with the Mythic Gulveig, because they made her a defense Mythic hero, which, I mean, everyone wanted her to be offense, so we could just use her for the Gale Force. But then it's like they fixed every issue with Mythic Gulveig with Summer Gulveig, and just made her like 10 times better.
Oh yeah, for sure. She's still like.
But in the defense of her being a defense Mythic, isn't it kind of badass that the villain of a certain book just sweeps your team? Sweeps the enemy team, sorry. I feel like that. Yeah. There's like a certain story element to it that is like kind of compelling.
I feel like Emblem pulled that off a little better though. Emblem is like the most annoying final boss defense Mythic, I think.
At least she isn't doing it. She's not fighting herself though. I feel like I guess if you really wanted to, you could kind of make defense Gulveig work, but it's so much work.
It doesn't. It's not worth it. She's not a unit you really want on a defense team.
She doesn't give out any support, which is kind of insane.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Yeah, and then her player phase isn't the greatest. Like there's a lot of issues with the Mythic Gulveig.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Summer Gulveig really amped it up. Like, finally, a usable Gulveig. Yeah. I'm sorry, Brave Gulveig, but I also don't think she's that good either.
DTM spits on you.
Well,
from afar.
We know how, yeah.
No, I actually really like Brave Gulveig. I think she, at the time, I thought she was really good.
Yeah, at the time.
Low-key, she was probably... Low-key, I think she might have been the best Brave unit of her batch, looking back on it now.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Who else came out on that Brave banner? It was Sorin, Corin, and...
Brave male Robin.
One? Right.
Yeah, I feel like Gulveig was probably the best one, and then also she aged better than all of them.
Hello? Well, Sorin?
Yeah, I would have to disagree, Sorin, yeah.
Bro is
right
I don't know,
there. I've never been very high on that Sorin, personally.
Gotcha.
I don't own him, but
you don't?
I think he's still really good.
Yeah, I think so too.
In every SDS season nowadays, you see at least one Brave Sorin, like somewhere. And when it is, it's like it gets really crazy because like.
But who is he making a save though?
Haythrun.
But then Haythrun is only a near savior though.
Devastating?
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, with Larather around, like, maybe he loses a little value, but I definitely think that Sorin is the best aging one. He's the one that everyone's actively using, like, still.
Right, I also agree.
Okay, all right, well, that's different strokes, different folks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we don't.
No
you don't have to be.
Way you said that. It's crazy because I was gonna say that, and I was like, you know what? No, that's too gross. For
Oh my God. Well, maybe not that kind of stroke, but okay. Okay.
All right, so moving on.
Yeah. Yes, let's move on. So Crem, who would you say your number 9 pick is?
Ninja Lucina.
All right.
She's super cool, honestly. I think she's good for the game because I'm biased. No, but I think that she's interesting because she is like a lot of role compression, like, which I guess is like one of my main like talking points. She's an insane amount of role compression, but also action economy, but also exposure, but also NFU and future vision, whatever it's
Future
called.
Witness,
Yeah,
I think
Future
it is.
Witness, I
Future
think.
Witness.
Yeah. Future Witness as a buff is insane, actually. Like, I don't think it should be in the game.
Oh, yeah,
Also,
for sure.
Kanto 2 makes brave
Yeah.
female Robin look like a scrub, honestly.
I mean, that's fair, yeah.
I don't, like, Lucina just gives so much, and also, like, the special charges basically makes her into a better duo Asker, which really hurts me, but at the same time, I'm not too mad because I do like Lucina and I do really like Crem, and them being together is very endearing to me. But there's just so many aspects to Ninja and Lucina that I feel like it's just an introduction into how we get disgusting action economy unit. Like, let's put it into perspective, right? We had the evolution from Valentine's Crem, gay Crem.
Right?
Then we got the duo baby female Robin, which was the next Crem. And then following that, we got Ninja Lucina, who is the other Crem. And it's kind of crazy to me how, like, you look at the differences between those three and it's jarring. Like, the level of support, like, yes, we use duo female Robin all the time, but Lucina, she gives more effects. Like, how do we get the next Ninja Lucina? How do we get the next baby female Robin?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
And we're gonna get more effects and more in stats, and it's just gonna keep on stacking on top of itself.
I can't
the
wait.
units are just gonna. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I think they nerfed Nurgle for moving forward, because they don't want a unit that can just steal bonuses, because they know that in the future every unit is just going to have a brand new status effect. Like, Lucina's got Future Witness, Needhogger has whatever hers is called, the one that stops Essence Drain.
Right, yeah.
Dosage.
Haterune has Divine Nectar. What else is there? Like, I feel like every single new unit that comes out has a brand new status effect. Like Emblem Sigurd, he has Momentum. Or not Momentum. What is his called? Gallop?
Or Gallop,
No,
yeah,
Gallop.
sorry,
Yeah,
Gallop,
Gallop.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of the way that they tried to future-proof the rest of their units by, like, just giving them more status effects, pretty much.
Right, yeah.
Imagine if Nithogger, her dosage gave out a buff that stopped them from disabling any bonuses, like duo Thor, duo button means nothing.
Oh,
God.
God, no. I mean, we're probably going to get a new Thor and a new Loki in the new book because they're part of the story.
Right,
Yep,
yeah.
most likely. I feel like we haven't talked about Rune enough, and he's my child, and I love him, so I want to bring up empathy in general, like just being
Yeah, that's
Plus
another
7.
status too, yeah.
Yeah.
+7 to all stats, you know, just a casual +7, it's fine.
Yeah.
And not having any other effect strapped on top of it is kind of funny to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's also like a healthy way to do a status where it's good, but it's not like doing anything that's outrageous.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
What is the empathy aspect of it? What does +7 to all stats
I don't know.
scream
Yeah,
empathy?
these names mean nothing to me. Treachery,
I don't know.
like...
Seven is a lucky number, I guess, and this is a
True.
gambling game. So he's telling you to roll 3 7s on the slot machine that is Fae summoning.
Ash Ketchum is telling us to gamble.
Yeah, gotta
Yeah.
catch them all, you know? Gotta fill up that
Oh my
Pokédex.
But
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Ninja Lucina, fun unit, love her.
I agree. Yeah, she
Yeah,
is very fun.
The only reason I don't have her on my list is because, again, I think she came out a little too late
Same,
for the
yeah.
year. So, like, I'm trying to focus, like, more on who had a big impact during Book 8 than, like, after it.
That's
My
how I feel too.
criteria was just like, how toxic are they? and we rolled with that.
Yeah.
I think like
I think we all like saw a different perspective in how to make this list, pretty much.
definitely,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, and I like that. I like how we're not all like just spouting the same list. Otherwise, that might have been an awkward video. But yeah, definitely.
What's funny though is that we have a lot of the same units on our list, even if we have them for different reasons and like different placements.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
a lot of this is the same stuff for the most part.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm different. I have Snake Wife on my list.
Yeah. Hey, that's why we have you on, man.
Hell yeah.
All right, let us move on to number 10. My number 10 is Desert Eye Green. Yeah, we talked about her a little bit already. Yeah, extra movement. Not slow by terrain, AoE damage, crazy harmonized button. Not as strong as she used to be anymore, but she's still usable, and she tore up the meta for quite a while. So,
Yeah.
So I think we can move on. Tacho already shared his with Summer Gulvig. So Crem, who is your 10th pick?
I have Brave Female Robin. I mean, for the same reasons that we mentioned before. She's on my list primarily because I think that ice is... It's one of those things that stop the enemy from playing the game, but it's also justified in a way because too many units have action economy. So like her singular ice doesn't matter. So it's interesting. I just don't like it as a Cavline user. And I think that in general, like if we were going to talk about meta relevancy, she introduced a new way of tanking by means of not tanking at all.
Right, yeah.
So like Fjorm loves her ice. She's just gonna sit in ice until she's gonna wait 100 turns in that ice.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that in general what else? Oh yeah, she also does the penalties. The global penalties. Like that also introduced like a new layer, I guess, of penalizing your enemy from like a mile away.
Fun times.
Until then, we had Legendary Camilla with Sabotage, and then that was like the only global one. But Brave Female Robin, 2 penalties, bam.
And they're really strong ones too.
Exactly. Panic can ruin you, like genuinely.
They really can, yeah. It's
because like I mentioned before, like how these units just force you into getting bonuses. Like having Brave Robin on the team, you force your other units to have attack and speed up 6, and then if you get Panic, that's like attack and speed -6 now.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, straight up.
like Panic is just really good.
Sometimes it's better to just not run bonuses. Who would have thought?
Yeah. Exactly.
But it's hard to do that though when a lot of the best units just come with it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll compression. Woo. All right. Gotcha. Okay. So that is our top 10 list. I am genuinely surprised that none of us put young female Robin in either of our lists.
She was really close to making it in for me.
Same, yeah.
And then I just, like, what happened was I just looked at how good the unit was on release and how long were they good. So, like, I mean, Robin is still good right now, and she was really good on release. So, there's not really much reason for me to not have her on here, but I think the other guys I have on here made more of an impact.
Right, yeah. Yeah, and it's a crazy year of power creep, so, like, yeah, I mean, I also felt really bad not putting her, but it's like, I could not put the other ones on my list, honestly, so. But yeah,
it was really, for me, like, the only 2 I kind of wanted to have on here was Baby Robin and Ninja Lucina. And, like I said, I think Ninja Lucina came out a little too late for Book 8. Like, since we're just, like, talking about Book 8 here.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, like, she was too late into the meta to leave, like, a long-standing impact.
I agree. Yeah, same here.
For me, I just haven't used Brave Female Robin in a while. Or, not Brave Female Robin. Duo Baby Robin. I haven't used her in a very long time, which is kind of crazy to say because she's so good. It's just like, it's weird because she doesn't kill things herself. She enables the other.
Yeah, she's
yeah.
an
The other
enabler,
units.
really. She's like a supporter.
Yep.
And I guess for the archetype of teams that I run, it's just I can't afford to sit around, I guess, because I don't use armors that much. So yeah, I just don't sit around. And as a result, the duo Baby Robin is just not really on my mind too much.
Gotcha, yeah. Alright, so that about covers this video. I hope you all enjoyed us going over the each of our top 10 meta impactful units of the game. I like how we all had very diverse and differing opinions, and I think that's what's beautiful about Fire Emblem Heroes. We each see the game uniquely in our own way. There's no right way to play the game. It's your way to play the game. So yeah, please let me know what you think about our list, and let me know who you think were super meta impactful as well in the comments below. And of course, I'd like to give a big thank you to my boys Tacho and Crem. They are amazing. Thank you so much for being on this video with me. I'm sure if you know me, then you probably know Tacho. He does like basically everything. He does banner reviews, banner reactions, summonings, theory crafts. He does it all, man. If you don't know him, you gotta get into Tacho's place, man. And we've got Crem here. He is, as we've seen now, he is the crazy Summoner Duels theory crafter, off meta picks, gimmicks, but gimmicks give you the gold sometimes, man, and his gimmicks are no joke.
So, I mean, sometimes
insane.
it's better to just use gimmicks because they're least expected.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that surprise element is always a big thing.
Exactly. And his gimmicks are no joke. They are insane. And if you are also a lover of huge, giant, buff dudes, you gotta check out his Twitter. Because he is like the king of giant, buff dude art in Fire Emblem Heroes. So if that's something that you're into, you gotta check him out. So yeah.
I'm trying to also draw more women, but my following does not like it. So go follow me and say yes, woman.
Exactly. Yeah, we gotta. Yeah, he also does women. He does it all. He does great art. Fantastic. You gotta check him out. You gotta check my boys out, guys. So yeah. Thank you so much for being on the video with me.
Thanks for having us.
Anytime. It's always a pleasure. And of course, Rocket Gal is giving us the love, but also subscribe and like the video to Rocket Gal because she's killing it with her own content. All of her unboxings are really fun. Like for me, the figurine unboxings are really cool. The Emblem ring unboxing was a cool one because I didn't even know those were a thing until you did that video. So definitely check out Rocket Gal for a different flavor of Fae content, I would say. It's like not really what a lot of the other Fae tubers are doing, which is really cool. That's what I appreciate.
I can describe Rocket Gal's content as like a fever dream, but in a good way.
I mean,
there's one video that comes to mind. It's her, the Fire Emblem
Is it when
Engage
she ate
workout.
the sock?
No, but that one's also funny. The Fire Emblem Engage workout with the freaking training grounds or whatever it's called.
Oh,
the game mode.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Rocket Gal, you are a delight. We don't deserve you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it from you guys. Yeah, so go check them out. I guess also go check me out. And yeah, that about covers it. Hope you all enjoyed us going over the top 10 most meta impactful characters from Book 8. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
Take care, guys.
Ciao.